Well, most board members, if they're from business, know a lot about dollars and cents. And so dollars and cents in business and dollars and cents in higher ed, 1 and 1 is 2 in both worlds. The difference is that the kinds of profit motive, the kinds of shareholder responsibility that they experience in business doesn't really translate as well to a university. In business, they're used to much quicker decision making. Let it be done. In higher ed, both public and private, we have a concept called faculty governance. And the curriculum particularly is, I wouldn't say run by the faculty, but let's say it's organized by the faculty and delivered by the faculty. And faculty members like to take their time on things. And so a frustration for many private board members is, why wasn't it done yesterday? On the faculty side, they'll say, well, it shouldn't have been done yesterday. It might not get done for a couple of months. And that's a big difference between what they experience in business and what they experience in higher ed. The other thing is the bottom line. The bottom line in business, as I mentioned before, is net profit after taxes. It's unclear what the bottom line is in higher ed. Clearly, the outcome, well, the financial outcome is, let's have a balanced budget. Let's raise a lot of money. Let's invest our resources in the foundation or endowment to increase our assets. Let's make sure we have risks, we manage our risks. So those are pretty clear. But there's increasing people asking the question, so what are we spending the money for? What are the outcomes we're achieving for students? What are the outcomes we're achieving in terms of not just do they go to grad school or find a job, but what skills, what attitudes, what values do they leave this place with? How do we know and measure they've left it with those skills and values and attitudes, and how do we certify it? And that's much more complicated in the school world than it is in the business. Accrediting bodies are asking not just about financial equilibrium, financial responsibility. They're also asking, do you measure outcomes? Do you have a system for measuring outcomes? And do you, in fact, use the information you get from that measurement? Do you cycle back to that curriculum or that experience to make sure that those results actually change the way you're delivering things? Where the financial part comes in is to be much more willing to invest in those areas which produce outcomes and to disinvest in those areas which don't produce the outcomes you want. And that's really hard in higher ed. If there's one frustration I share with a lot of board members, it's the pace of change in terms of the business. If even today with technology, if my grandparents walked into most college classrooms, they would feel right at home from what they experienced 40, 50 years ago. Yes, there's more technology. Yes, they didn't have iPads and iPods and things like that. But still, overwhelmingly, a lot of the pedagogy is the same as it used to be. And a lot of the curriculum is the same as it used to be. And there's nothing wrong with that as long as we have the outcomes from that curriculum. We measure it, we recognize it, and it becomes part of the value proposition. That's why you pay the money, because that's the value you're getting out of a higher education.